Bullies harassed schoolgirls every day after school until the bikers found them every afternoon. 3 innocent schoolgirls walked home together, clutching their bags a little tighter than the day before. Their smiles had faded. Their laughter had disappeared. Because waiting for them at the corner of Maple Street was a group of older boys bullies, who seemed to enjoy making their lives miserable. The girls tried ignoring them, avoiding them, even running. Nothing worked. The harassment grew bolder, crueler, more frightening. Teachers didn't help. Parents didn't understand. And every day, the girls wished for one thing: someone strong enough to make it stop. One rainy evening, everything changed. The bullies cornered the girls again, taunting, blocking their path, grabbing their school bags. But this time, there were witnesses. Engines rumbled from the distance. Leather jackets. Heavy boots. A group of bikers rolled in, men known for their grit, loyalty, and a reputation no bully could ever challenge. What happened next became the talk of the entire town. It started small, just a few mean comments. A laugh here, a shove there. The schoolgirls Ayla, Miriam, and Sophia were used to staying quiet, staying polite, staying invisible. But the bullies saw their silence as weakness. Every day after school, the boys waited at the same intersection, leaning against the fence with their backpacks thrown on the ground, acting like they owned the street. At first, the girls hoped the boys would get bored and leave. But bullying rarely ends that easily. Instead, it grew worse. The boys blocked their path, tugged on their scarves, insulted their clothes, mocked their voices. One even snatched Ayla's notebook and threw it into a puddle, laughing as she cried silently. Miriam tried to stand up for her friend, but more laughter echoed back. Those boys knew the girls wouldn't fight back. The girls complained to their teacher, but she waved it off. Just ignore them. Their parents said they were just teasing and would grow out of it. But the girls knew this wasn't teasing. This was torment. Their walk home became a nightmare. The bullies grew more daring, pushing them, grabbing their hands, following them halfway home. The girls changed routes, changed timing, even tried leaving with groups of students. But the boys always found them. Every day became a countdown to fear. One afternoon, after a particularly rough encounter, the girls sat under a bus stop shelter and cried together. "Why us?" Sophia sobbed. "We never did anything to them." Ayla buried her face in her hands. "I just want one day without being scared." Their tears mixed with the dust on the pavement. They felt helpless, completely trapped, but fate works in mysterious ways. That same day, a group of bikers rolled into town. They weren't the troublemakers people assumed. They were members of a well-known biker charity group called Guardians on Wheels. They helped kids, senior citizens, and anyone who needed protection. And as they passed the bus stop, their leader, Big Ron, a tall, bearded man with a heavy voice, noticed something most adults ignored. 3 frightened girls sitting with trembling shoulders. He slowed his bike. "You girls all right?" he asked gently. Startled, the girls shook their heads and wiped their tears. They wanted to pretend everything was fine. But Ron wasn't convinced. He parked his bike and approached quietly. His fellow bikers gathered behind him like a wall of steel and leather. Something inside the girls finally snapped. They told him everything, and Ron listened. Really listened. And then he said 7 words that changed everything. "No one hurts kids on our watch." The next afternoon, the girls walked home as usual, fear tightening their throats. They knew the bullies would be waiting. The corner of Maple Street felt like a trap, a cage they were forced to walk into. Sure enough, the boys were there, leaning casually, smirking, ready to repeat the same cruelty. "Look who's back," the leader sneered, stepping forward. Miss Crybaby and her little friends. The girls froze. There was no escape. Ayla squeezed her book bag. Miriam's hands trembled. Sophia felt tears building. But then a low rumble rolled through the street. Burrum's engines. Heavy engines. The boys frowned and turned around. From the end of the road, a line of motorcycles approached slowly, 6 massive bikes moving like silent giants. The boys stepped back uncertainly but kept their tough expressions. The bikes parked right at the curb, forming a barrier between the bullies and the girls. Big Ron stepped off first. His boots hit the ground like thunder. The rest of the bikers followed, muscular, intimidating, covered in leather vests with patches that read, "Guardians on Wheels, protect the weaker." Looked at the bullies not with anger, but with a calm firmness that was far scarier. "You boys been bothering these girls?" he asked. The bullies swallowed hard. "We were just messing around," one stuttered. Ron stepped closer. "Do I look like someone who believes that?" The tallest bully tried to regain confidence. "You can't tell us what to do." Ron raised an eyebrow. "Is that so?" One of the bikers stepped forward. Tank, a mountain of a man with a tattoo of an eagle on his arm. "We don't hurt kids," he said, "but we also don't let people hurt kids." Another biker, Slim, known for his sharp tongue, added, "Why don't you show us how tough you are when you're not picking on girls half your size?" The boys paled. Ron crouched down to eye level with the leader. You have two choices, he said quietly. One, walk away now and never come near these girls again. Two, stay here. And we have a very long talk about consequences. The leader looked at his friends. None of them were brave enough to make eye contact. One whispered, let's go, man. They turned around and hurried off without another word. The street fell silent. Ayla inhaled shakily. Miriam blinked through tears. Sophia felt her heart finally slow down. Ron turned around, his expression softening. You're safe now, he said. And if they ever come back, call us. We'll be here, and for the first time in weeks. The girls actually believed it. The next days felt different, lighter, safer. The girls still walked the same route, but now every corner, every shadow, every footstep felt less threatening. The bullies vanished completely. Rumor had spread around the school, don't mess with the girls protected by bikers. But the bikers didn't disappear. Ron and his crew made it a point to ride through the neighborhood every afternoon, not intruding, not intimidating, just watching from a distance to ensure the girls were safe. They waved at the girls, who waved back with smiles they hadn't shown in months. The girls' confidence returned. They laughed again. Ayla started drawing in her notebook, something she had stopped doing. Miriam joined the school debate club. Sophia began singing at recess. Their parents noticed the change and thanked the bikers in person. Surprised that men who looked so tough could have hearts so soft. One afternoon, Ron sat with the girls at the park. Listen, he said kindly, strength doesn't always come from muscles. Sometimes it comes from speaking up. From not letting fear win. Ayla looked at him. But we were scared, Ron nodded. Everyone is, even me. But courage is doing what's right even when you're scared. Tank handed the girls 3 small patches embroidered wings with the words brave hearts. These ain't just decorations, he said. You earned them, the girls beamed. Meanwhile, the bullies faced consequences of their own. When one of them bragged about being confronted by bikers, a teacher overheard. The school launched an investigation. Parents stepped in. The boys received discipline, counseling, and community service. For the first time, they began to understand how much damage their actions had caused. Weeks passed. The girls continued growing stronger and kinder. The bikers visited often, treating the girls like younger sisters. The town began seeing them differently too, not as dangerous men, but as guardians who protected the vulnerable. One evening, the girls asked Ron, why did you help us? Ron smiled gently. Because someone once helped me when I was young. When I needed it most. He paused. We all have a responsibility to stand up for someone who can't stand up for themselves yet. The girls nodded. They understood. The story spread across the town, then online, inspiring thousands. It became a reminder that heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they ride motorcycles, carry heavy chains, and have tattoos and leather jackets. And sometimes the bravest acts come from simply stepping in when others stay silent. The bullies never bothered anyone again. And Ayla, Miriam, and Sophia walked home every day with their heads held high, knowing they were protected. But more importantly, that they were stronger than they ever realized. The bikers taught them one unforgettable lesson. True strength is protecting those who can't protect themselves. If you want more powerful true life stories like this filled with emotion, courage, and unforgettable twists, like, share, and subscribe now.